Sugar Spice and Everything Uncensored with me, Amira Judah. This is the official second episode on Spotify. If you're seeing this on Instagram, make your way to Spotify. That's the only place I'll be posting full episodes. Last week we launched the first audio episode, so thank you for coming back and watching. Today we're going to get into sometimes people are forgetful. At the end of the day, we're all humans. At the end of the day, death, sickness, financial problems, relationship problems, family problems, any type of adversity is not reserved for only some people. That's one thing all humans have in common. At some point of our life, we're all going to go through adversities, challenges, unfortunate events, right? It'd be great if more people will stop letting outside deception and influences and little race wars. I don't get too much into stuff like politics and all that. Letting people lose sight that at the end of the day, all the little division doesn't negate the fact that Jesus died on the cross for all human beings, all races, all ethnicities, all different cultural backgrounds, whether all different traditions, whether people grew up in different religious practices, traditions, routines, rituals, regimens, whatever it may be. Folks sometimes try to think that Jesus Christ is only for a select. Don't get too high and mighty in life, because like I just said, we all experience adversity. We all experience some form of depression, rejection, financial lack, challenges. And you want to know something? Demons aren't only attacking certain groups of individuals. Demons are on standby, constantly waging war on the human race because folks are so drawn in their emotions and always operating from their emotions and the spirit of offense. And I don't feel some things you just got to grow above your feelings. You got to grow above your feelings sometimes. Like the feelings will get you caught up. It's okay to not, but don't stay stuck there. Don't let it cripple you where you see a person in need of an encouraging word, of a compliment, of someone kindness, but you don't give that because of a cultural difference, a racial difference, a religious difference. But you know that Jesus died for all people. So, like, how does that work? I see sometimes online the nonsense, and I just be like, how does that work? Everybody wants to play God and police everybody else. But really, the biggest challenge and the biggest battle you always is going to have with yourself. So now I get it when he says you have something in your eye. You have a splinter in your eye and you're trying to take it out. You have a log in your eye and you're trying to take the splinter out of somebody else's. How does that work? Of course, along the way in life, we go through things, and sometimes you have to go through pits and you have to go through hell, and you have to, so that you know what it's like to be in these places, so God could use you effectively to drag somebody else. That is why Satan fights you so hard, because you done made it free with Jesus Christ. Everything is, you're free. He overcame death. That means death in all areas of life, death of finances, death of health, death of mental, death of emotional, spiritual, on a soul, death in all areas that manifest in so many areas of life. And it bothers me when people try to think that the love of Jesus Christ is only exclusive for some people, but God could use any and every person, no matter where their starting point was in life. No matter where their starting point is in life. They just have to have a willing heart, surrendering their heart, and being willing to go through the process. Meaning your ego is constantly going to be crushed and molded and broken down and crushed and crushed and crushed, because God knows what is in us. He knows that you've experienced rejection, heartbreak, certain things that you might not think is a problem now, but then when walk into a new season, those things manifest and it becomes a problem. And it can create issues, make it hard for you to be effective because strongholds from the past is still like trying to drag you back. Drag you back. Don't allow yourself to be deceived, and don't allow your emotions to stir up things where you're now letting your emotions take the front seat and you can't be effective because you aren't viewing people through a lens of they're a human being, no matter what background, race, social, economical class, what part of the globe come from, they are not exempt from experiencing self-worth, self-doubt, depression, suicide ideation, family problems, money troubles, relationships, heartbreak, struggling with self-love, all these different things. People would have so much more compassion if they fully grasp, like, Jesus dying on the cross is because, you know why? The world, the state we're in, the level we're at, the world is ghetto. It's ghetto as hell, literally. It's ghetto. Operating low vibration. Everything is always, people are always so disrupted, at war with each other, not at peace, constantly trying to do scheme and scam and sabotage, make people feel low about themselves. And it's just really sad sometimes, because if people understood that that in itself is all by design and all by strategy, they wouldn't allow themselves to be so easily occupied to be used to further cause someone to be hindered on their walk. And I'm not exempt from that, because many times God has checked me and humbled me, especially when he's like, control your mouth, girl. You always think, sometimes you think, I might have shown you a few things and I'm showing you, it don't mean you know the whole understanding of the situation. So don't speak too soon. Don't speak too prematurely, because the same thing you gossiping in, you're going to be right in the same situation, and you're going to be like, Lord, ask for forgiveness. Why did I say this? Why did I do this? And guess what? That's exactly what happened. Because no one is exempt from demons and principalities trying to stop your destiny and your life's purpose. Getting right and getting in a relationship with God does miracles in numbers. All them crystals, all them bracelets ain't never stopped no demon, ain't never scared no demon from coming to try to touch me. Ain't scared no demon from coming to try to take me out. But in my deception, especially when I was heartbroken and I was angry and I was rebellious towards God, because I'm like, how I'm always getting the short of the stick, being nice, being kind, ain't never got me nowhere. Seems like folks who ain't as considerate is stepping on people to get ahead, but they look happy. They seem like they not struggling. It's not taking forever to build a foundation. Folks ain't coming for them, but they gonna come for me. You get what I'm saying? But I had to realize that was a warped perspective. But during that time, especially after like heartbreak and breakups, like I didn't realize that is going against God. Rebellion, when you're doing things like witchcraft. All them tarot cards and little paper cards got more than paper attached to it. They got demonic principalities, keys opening up doors that you cannot see to allow and invite other demons and principalities in, whether it's the form of, oh, I was speaking to an ancestor. No, you were speaking to a familiar spirit that masqueraded as something that you were familiar with. And in your desperation and in your pain, you latched on and you didn't know it. It latched onto you like a leech. Think I'm lying? Try to cut loose from it. Try to be like, you know what? I'm off this. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to throw it away. I'm going to stop calling necromancers. Stop calling psychics. Stop getting palm reading. Watch when you want to cut it and you say, you don't realize it's not lightweight. They feel like you done kick them out. You'll see the most demonic warfare coming for your life. Even when I went back to God after rebelling, there was still so much residue, so much I had to atone and get in alignment with, because them demons was mad. So much doors and sin and money spells and all these things and speaking words under the full moon, all this stuff, lighting candle, burning sage, that even when I try to shut the door, it still try to come chasing after me, even when walking back towards God. Physically chasing after me. Then when it's not physical and you can't see it, then it's happening subtly. That spirit influencing, hopping in other people that are trying to get close to you, sabotage you, and drag you back into the same stronghold. You hear what I'm saying? That's why I don't judge. I try so hard not to judge. I can't say I don't, but I try so hard not to judge people because we all go through different situations. But I remember when I was in that, I know for a fact the spirit and God ain't moving with that, and you're watching this, don't take it offensive at all. Hear what I'm saying so you're not under deception and furthering allowing yourself to drift off into the deep end, so that when you realize when you're in the deep waters and you feel something brush against your foot and you feel something move around you and it gets you right where you wanted, where you're not grounded and level headed and rooted in Christ, and understanding that God will open the door. It says God opens the door no man can shut, and shuts the door no man can open. There's no need for us to jump up and down, do ritual little stones, all these little things to make it happen sooner. That's the purpose of Jesus Christ dying on the cross. It cancels out all ritualistic routine things to access and tap into the blessings that God has for you. You get me? It cancels all that. Now, just doing a simple talking with God, praying with God, reading the word, fasting can open doors, shut doors, can break strongholds, can break mindsets, things that keep you bound, and uproot seeds, so that when God pushes you into places and you allow him to process you, now I get it. Now I understand. Oh, you didn't allow certain things to happen, and I was trying to force those doors open because you still needed me to be crushed and processed so I don't go rogue and self-sabotage. When you really show your unconditional love, your goodness, I don't feel psyched out and start freaking out, because that's what I started doing, freaking out and be thinking like, is this a joke? Is this other shoe gonna drop? Like, why are you being so nice? That's why I don't take it weird when people think I'm weird sometimes. They be like, oh, she's a Jesus freak. Oh, she's just too like happy-go-lucky. Yeah, guess what? I don't care what those people think, because guess what? Them folks wasn't the ones pulling me out of the pit of depression. Them folks didn't renew my mind from suicidal ideation. Them folks wasn't the one with me countless nights crying in the shower, crying to sleep, crying myself to sleep, feeling worthless, feeling like my life is over. Feeling like because of simple mistakes and little mistakes that became big mistakes, because one little crack, the enemy's one crack open to bust hell wide open in your life and give him legal right to run rampant in your life. And then it becomes like you bite off more than you can chew. And sometimes it's like you need those moments to realize only God can help me with this. Only Jesus can save me from this, for real. Because what did I get myself into? But God's grace is something. God's love is something, because even in my rebellion, my brokenness, God saw I made certain choices out of brokenness, out of a warped, unhealthy mindset, and still chose to love me. Even when I'm like, forget you, you taking too long, you're not helping, you're seeing I'm going through this. Why would you let this happen to me? Why? I'm tired waiting for you, being kind, all these prayers didn't get me nowhere. That's a slap in the face to God, because when I really sat down and thought about how many times God has saved me from things that I don't know, but has saved my life from so many things. Saved me from myself. Destructive. When you are broken in spirit and in heart, you make poor choices, desperate choices to try to feel something or prove your worthiness or make things happen so other people can see you in a different light, because you don't see yourself the way God sees you. Don't allow pain, hurt, and trauma. Don't allow deception. Don't allow the spirit of insecurity. Don't allow envy to trick you out of the truth. And the truth is, God's love for humankind is unfathomable, because humans are flawed, and they can be, and I'm a human, can be ghetto as far as making the same janky mistakes acting real forgetful with God, acting like you don't need him when she elevates you and puts you in the spaces, slowing down on your prayer time, on your fasting, building a genuine relationship with God where it's not performative. It's not, you see, I'm taking my Bible study notes, you see my prayer book, all these little things. It's not performative. Where it's you and God and nobody else's business. Where it says God rewards those what he does in the secret place. That's why it's imperative for you to go through the process, check your heart. Because when you see God blessing people and you see their manifestation in your life in real life, you understand you have no room or right to be envious, to talk or look at somebody's side eye to be thinking they're undeserving, because you have no idea what their relationship with God looks like. And you have no idea what they do in a secret place. You have no idea the countless hours, the time they spent with God, praying, reading their word, and not just praying for themselves, but praying for other people, other situations, because you start to have compassion. I don't know how Jesus had all this compassion and love. I don't know. Humans, I'm a human. I'm annoying to myself sometimes. Other people are annoying just because people are so easily offended. People are so easily in their emotions and feels where they let it move them all the way off the mark in the mission because they didn't like something. They didn't like the ideology of someone else. They didn't agree. So they just want to abandon the whole mission. Don't let that be you. Don't let God start to work on your heart and move you and bring people in your path. Sometimes he'll bring people in your path that resemble people who hurt you, whether that's race, whether that's community, whether that's ethnicity, whether that's certain types of characters of people. And you got to let God really do a work in you to allow yourself to be humble enough for you to be a blessing and heal someone else that you know your pride and ego will be like, I knew you would ask me for help. See, I'm not that crazy after all. See, yeah, don't go there. Because we're all mere humans who are flawed, who have emotions, feelings, egos, minds of our own. God respects free will. That's why I don't be like paying too much attention to people like, oh, here she goes, that God stuff, and here goes the Jesus stuff. Because guess what? God give us all free will. And the fact that God gives us free will should be a testament to a love that's unfathomable, because a lot of us are conditional. You know, and we all know. Some folks you ain't loving like that. If they stepped on you the wrong way, they said something wrong, it's like cut, snip, because you gonna respect me. But the amount of times that we as humans have disrespected, dishonored, disgraced God, and guess what? At the end of the day, God is still there with open arms, saying, I sent my son for you. So for this day, whether it's 3 years from now, 10 years from now, or before your dying breath, you have the experience to accept me, accept my son, Jesus, accept the Holy Spirit, accept the redemptive and victorious power to overcome all these strongholds and principalities that will be chasing you down to the day you die. That's what I said. Nobody's exempt from adversity, spiritual warfare. So I hope if you see this, you're encouraged. You know God is real. You know Jesus is real. And you get curious to get a relationship. Because I could share so many experiences on here all day long, but it's not going to be the same as you having your own encounter with Jesus and knowing like, dang, I know for me in my own life, and some things I probably never speak on here where I'm like, that was Jesus, because it makes no sense that I'm here today. It makes no sense that although I'm dealing with my own health battles and I'm overcoming them, that some things that was meant to take me out didn't. Like, I'm never not going to be excited and amped when it's about Jesus. Never. I had to build my own relationship. Yeah, I grew up in the church, but that's when like I said, growing up and then in my early 20s, steering away, because it's like, okay, what did this get me? I'm over here still struggling and this and that. And then realizing, no, I need my own relationship with Jesus. My foundation is not built on because of grandmama, aunties, uncles, papas, great uncle, whatever their relationship, that's with them. But mine needs to be with me and God, and yours needs to be, because guess what? He made each and every one of us. tailored us and knows how we are. And you don't need to talk to God in a specific way for him to talk to you here. It's just a conversation with the Creator, your Father in heaven. Someone like yourself deserves a second chance, deserves love, deserves the redemptive power while you're living here on life to overcome death, so that when adversity comes your way and it tries to take you out because it's trying to cause death to different situations and areas of your life, you're knowing and so secure in that peace. God is on my side, and God gave me the tools that I need to overcome and speak out against these things via the Holy Bible. The Word of God is so powerful. Just that speaking those things have the ability to tear down and dismantle lies, delusions, imaginations. You get me? But thank you for watching Sugar Spice and Everything Uncensored with me, Amira Judah. And hopefully you're back again. Peace.